Hello and welcome to the Fistreama. I am the Fidreema. Welcome to a kitchen stream. I hope you are all doing well. Today I'm emptying out my fridge and prepping a few things and just hanging out. It's been a tumultuous day. I hope everyone's having a much better day than me. It was good. I went to school, I went to class, and class went really well. And then I went shopping, and that went mostly really well. And then I came home and I got a really scary call. But that's mostly dealt with now, so I can hopefully not be scared anymore. It's just, it rattles you. It's scary. Let me open up the thing. The thing that we call Twitch. Okay, blessed. Let's go to the other one. The other one. Come on. There we go. I just wanted to have that open so that I can keep tabs. Literally keep tabs. I think I'm so funny. And then that one. I really should have been better prepared, but here we are. It's not a big deal. We're getting the train back on the tracks. It's fine. There we go. There we go. Oh, Nocturnal Lizzie is here. Hello, how are you? How's your week going so far? My co-host at this time is fast asleep on the bed upstairs. This young man. He, so when I got home, there was this whole kerfuffle and we were like, I was getting my backpack in here, I bought some stuff and just getting cleaned up and whatnot. And because we were setting this area up too for the stream, this guy was up in his chair, looking at us back and forth, I'm here for the stream. My ticket said to be here for 5 o'clock, and it's time for the stream. What are you guys doing? You're not streaming. Oh man. He was ready, but I wasn't. And then eventually he got sick and tired of my shit and he went and had a nap. So hopefully he'll realize that we're having a blast down in the kitchen and he'll make his way over. Lizzie says, doing great. What you making today? I'm gonna make a chicken dish, mashed potatoes, and I am prepping a bunch of strawberries and watermelon. I have to prep some bananas. Yes, I have to prep a lot of bananas. I might make muffins, but I honestly have not been having much of a sweet tooth lately. I've been struggling to eat sweets, which is weird. I usually love sugar. I cannot seem to get enough. That's the problem for me. She's Amara Jack's here. Hello, how are you? We're buying stuff? No, don't worry about that. Muffins. Well, I could make muffins. That is certainly an option. I could also try eating one on stream with your encouragement because I need the support. I can't eat the muffins that I make by myself. Maybe Madra can support me too in eating the muffins. The Wolf King's here. How are you? Struggle to eat sweets? Wow, only wish I had that problem. Oh man. I used to eat sweets like a fiend. And I would eat just about nothing else. It was wild. And I started having fainting spells really, really frequently. And it was scary because my doctor was like, if this shit keeps persisting. We're going to have to take your driver's license, especially if we get to the bottom of why you're fainting, because we can't afford to have you faint while you're driving. And I was like, I didn't think of that. But also, I am not fainting anymore, doctor. But it turned out that I'm really dumb. I'm so dumb. And that I was not eating for like days on end and then wondering why I felt like shit. I was drinking so much coffee, and the only solid food I would eat was like cake, brownies, chocolate bars. And I was like, I had an O. Henry. It was a king size. Why do I want to die? Why am I suffering? My doctor had a moment where she looked at me and was like, "Duh, Captain Obvious to the rescue. You don't get it?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, seriously, lady. I've eaten the following things. I should be fine." She was like, "That's not how nutrition works." I was like, "Are you telling me I don't know how to feed myself, doctor?" She was like, "Precisely what I'm trying to say to you." I was like, "And what do I fucking do about that?" She's like, figure it out. But ever since then, I've been more cautious about it. Apparently, I have something called hypoglycemia, which is where you naturally have low blood sugar. So when you eat sugar, it spikes very quickly. And so sometimes when you eat like bread or a carb or just a very high volume of sugar, like when I've had American import pops before, I have passed out and thrown up a little bit. Because it's so high sugar, it's almost double what we get here in Canada, which is wild. Ugh. So ever since then, I've been a lot more like cautious, but I haven't stopped. I still have plenty of fucking sugar. Nocturnal, as he says, are the fruits being prepped for snackage, or will they be made into something? The bananas will probably be made into muffins. The strobulas will be eaten. Yes, they will be eaten. And the watermelon will also be prepped for snacking, pretty much. Shuzumura Jack says, I'm good. Just noticed the stream and decided to pop in. Thank you. I'm like a watermelon friend. I'm guessing you mean fiend. I have trouble stopping myself because it's so good. It is so good. And I feel like it's just so like refreshing on such a deep level somehow. Jack says, are you serious? Our episode is that bad? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not used to it. I gotta work my way up. Lizzie says, feeling slightly better about my lunch being a bunch of cheese and fruit. Cheese and fruit's a good snack or lunch. I mean, Starbucks sold like, I think they still do. They sell like these like lunchbox things for adults that are cheese and fruit. And like, honestly, they're popular. People love that shit. Ooh. I have a friend who is a fiend for it. Alright. So the drought was already down here. He's already blessed us with having chorped the taters and peeling and chorping the taters. Like there's another important integral step here. Oh man. Jack says it's water. No, American soda is bad. Ah. When you say bad, do you mean that it's like bad for you or bad tasting or evil somehow? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to understand. I've been up for 12 hours at this point and I'm just like running on caffeine and instinct and adrenaline to some extent. It's bad health-wise, but heckin' delicious. Ooh. Okay, where'd I get lost? Okay, Jack says apple and cheese is where it's at. That is a pretty good combo. What's your favorite kind of apple to cheese? Do you experiment much with this, or is there a standard? I vaguely remember there was Granny Smith apples in the box at Starbucks, and they had cheddar, brie, and I call it white sub cheese because that's what the fucking sub places around here call it. It's like this tasteless white cheese that looks like white cheddar. It behaves like white cheddar, and it tastes like nothing. Oh, man. Okay. Wolf King says apple and peanut butter. Yes, that is good shit. Lizzie says it's bad health-wise, but heckin' delicious. It really is. Jack says very high sugar and caffeine. I forget about caffeine because I feel like caffeine in Canada is regulated so differently than it is in the US. I've heard that like energy drinks like Red Bulls and Monster Energies and shit in the US are so much more caffeinated. Like the levels are higher because they're allowed to put more in it. Whereas here, they're like, we have too many old people here. You cannot put that much caffeine in it. You will kill them. Not that old people are really into Red Bull or Monster. Not the target demographic for energy beverages, but I mean, it is what it is. The Wolf King says, I can English, I swear. Honestly, same. I trip over my words all the time. Don't worry about it. Jack says, I like Fuji and sharp cheddar. Okay. Fuji. Is Fuji the white pear with the speckles all over it? It's also called an Asian pear, or is that a different fruit altogether? Because I could be going crazy. We might call it something different here. Lizzie says mozzarella. It's too hard of a cheese to be mozzarella, or I would say it's definitely mozzarella. You know what? It might be mozzarella because that cheese was not great. So it had been cheddar, mozzarella, brie, and then there was another one in there. Probably Swiss. I think most regular U.S. sodas don't have caffeine, though. Like Fanta and Sprite and stuff don't have any. Right. That's right. I forget these things. I had a debate with someone recently about whether Sprite had any caffeine in it or not recently, and I was like, it's clear. It's not allowed to have any caffeine. That's the rule in Canada. A clear soda or beverage cannot have caffeine because it would be confusing for children, is the logic behind that one. Jack says, I drink Monster semi-regularly and yeah, tons of caffeine. Wild. It's funny. A lot of my friends have been drinking Red Bulls lately and getting super sleepy. It's weird. I think they're just probably consuming way too much caffeine for what's good for them. I would never tell someone what to do, except Madrat when I need him to help me. Hi, Madrat. But if an energy drink is putting you to sleep, you're probably having too much caffeine and need to lay off. That, or you might have an allergy and your body is just shutting down in reaction. Because I know that if you take in caffeine, if you have a pill, like let's say you have a headache and you're taking an Advil and you take it with a component of caffeine, or you're drinking it with a tea or a coffee, it makes the effect of the Advil work faster. So you start to feel relief faster. The same is applicable for a lot of drugs. I don't know what the limitations are of this rule, but I've heard this with so many different, like, usually painkillers, that caffeine helps deliver effects of pills better. And so I'm thinking if someone's allergic to caffeine and caffeine delivers the effect faster, it's probably hitting them and they're just having an accelerated allergic reaction and they're passing out. I mean, that's just my theory. I'm not a science lady. I just like to make up my own theories for how the world works. And I could be completely wrong. The Wolf King says Bangs, I believe, has the most caffeine. I think it has like 700 milligrams. I think, don't quote me on that, fair. That seems like a disgusting amount of caffeine. Like, who is this for? Lizzie says Fuji's an apple type that's like reddish yellowy. Oh, you know what? In my infinite wisdom, I've inverted the letters and I've been calling it Fiju. Because I've seen that exact fucking apple and I know it exists, but I've been calling it Fiju in my head. So I was like, Fuji? Is this an apple that I know? Yes, it fucking is. Fiju, like Kiju, but with an F. Lizzie says, oh, really? That's super interesting. I'm guessing this is about the theory of pops being clear. And then Jack says, it's definitely reddish yellow. Bang is double what Monster has, and it's crazy. Damn! I remember Monster keeping me up for like 3 days in a row before I felt like I could finally sleep again. It was so jittery and kind of invincible. When you're up for that long, you're like, yeah, I could do anything. And you go to sit down in front of a new series and you pass right out. You're just binging shows usually. I mean, I was at least. Lizzie says, the weirdest things can impact how medications work. Like apparently grapefruits can mess with birth control. Yes. It's so wild. I feel like there's so many contraindications in medicine that like we just don't know about because we just don't ask. And we don't find out until we've like mixed the wrong things together and then our doctor goes, oh yeah, that's a thing you should know. And you're like, how was I supposed to know any of this? No one teaches you any of this. Unreasonable. Are you supposed to guess? Like, Lizzie says, Fiju apples, that's their name now. I'm so glad. Petition to rename Fuji apples to Fiju apples. Jack says Monster has 160 milligram of caffeine and Bang has like 300 or 400. I'm not sure, but it's about double Monster. That's scary shit. Damn. Well, does it work? I'm curious. What are the effects you that you experience from it? Oh, Josh is here. Hello, how are you? It's the Fustrema. Lizzie says, yeah, I didn't hear about the grapefruit thing until like 4 years into taking birth control, and if I'd had a dang baby because of a fruit, I swear. Who do you sue for this? They did not write those warnings on the label. And if they did, it was not very clear. I swear to God. Wolf King says, well, I don't know energy drinks, but I don't drink them so well. Honestly, you probably don't need them. Jack says 300 milligram of caffeine is like max the daily amount. Damn. I've definitely had that amount before, but I don't know that I could handle it now. I don't have the callus of caffeine addiction to like bolster me into handling that very well. Josh says, hello, I am but a humble citizen of the Ween, coming to visit our queen. I love it. Oh my God. The ween came up today in class. So we had an activity we had to do, and we had to present it as well, which is cool. So I was like, I finished mine first and I wanted to present first. And so I went and did it. And then, come on, Straubs. Right. So I went and I presented, and then the other girl in my class presented, and she like wanted to go for a high five. So we went and high fived, but we missed. And then she was like, oh no. I was like, you gotta focus on the weenus, okay? And then we did it again. She's like, ha, the ween. And then the whole class lost their shit. The next person who had to present was way less nervous. We nailed our high five. And then I got to educate everyone that weenus is the same word in French as it is in English. And that was my shining, crowning moment today. Oh, subscribe. Thank you, Rob. You're back. Thank you for the sub. All hail the weenus. Take my money. I asked about you in MDB's stream earlier, and he said you had some good things happen. Yay! Also sucks to hear about your class at uni. Why couldn't they have just stayed online? I know. It's unreasonable. I mean, one class theoretically should be online because the teacher lied about breaking his ankle. Have I told you guys the story about my econ prof lying about breaking his ankle? It's quite the tale. So if you guys want me to tell it, I will. But if I've already told it, I will not bore you. Lizzie says, if I drink a can of Coke Zero with my dinner at like 5 p.m., I can't sleep all night. I'm afraid of what a proper energy drink would do to me. Honestly, same. I don't think I even drink alcohol after like 5:30 or 6:30 p.m. because it just messes with my sleep. I'm a very delicate flower. I think it's because I weaned off of caffeine so many times that when I take it in now, when I consume caffeine now, I'm so much more sensitive to it. And I don't like that necessarily. So I really like coffee. So not being able to have as much as I used to be able to is like, come on, man. I need some nice things. The Hope King says, how do you lie about that? Because you're a 29-year-long professor at a university and school is imminently about to strike and you just don't give a rat's ass. It's the long and the short of that. Hold on. And then Rob says, you're more than welcome. I asked how you were all doing, and he said you were all good. Then he told me in chat about how you were offered a job and then about the classes. So congrats on the job offer as well. Thank you. That's still kind of a work in progress. But I was having a really shitty day. Why is this a theme? I don't like this theme. I would like a theme where I'm not having a shitty day all the time. But I was having a shitty day. And I went to the store against my better judgment because I just thought I don't really want to go out. I feel like shit. And I saw someone I used to work with at the store and we locked eyes and she was like, oh my God, it's you. How are you doing? Where are you working now? I was like, I'm not really working right now. And she's like, I can get you a job. Let me give you a job. So she was talking about how like, these are the types of jobs she could offer me, like sales management, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I can do those. She's like, all right, let me like give you a call or send you an email and then I can set you up. And I was like, wow. I almost didn't go out to that store that day at that time. And this is someone that like I've literally, I call her, I email her, I text her. She calls me, she texts me, she emails me, and like we miss each other a lot. So to like see her at the store was like, oh my God, it's so nice to see you. You're still alive and kicking. Great. You're still doing things. You're active. You're not ignoring me. And she's like, well, my phone hasn't been working. I was like, honestly, same. I got like a dozen of the same 3 messages from my guitar instructor on yesterday. And I was like, hey, I think your phone's glitching out. This man was like, I haven't texted you today. I was like, the fuck? Confusing. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for the congrats, and thank you for the sub. And Jack says, let's see, what I experience depends on how often I drink them, from being alert then with 1, then having hunger pangs in 3 hours, to like being unable to relax with 2 to 3. I space out how often I drink by like 3 days so I'm not having adverse effects. Very smart. I like that. And then Rob says, I also apologize for missing your streams recently. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Oh, shitty days are my specialty at the minute. I'm so sorry. You don't have to apologize for missing a stream. I've missed you too. Oh, man. I worry about people. Probably too much, but I mean, I worry about people. But you don't need to apologize for missing a stream. Like, I'm just hanging out. If you can come, great. If you can't, that's fine too. Rob says, don't know if I've been here since I got run over at work, but that happened. You got run over? This is a joke, right? This is a whole joke, right? There's a punchline coming to this joke, right? Are you okay? I mean, a lot of people I know who are cyclists and joggers and people that like frequently go out and do stuff like that, they get run over a lot. My guitar instructor's gotten run over apparently like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, what? Like, I was just flabbergasted. I was like, what did you do about this? Oh, Echo Helion, hello. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Hello, Fatima. Finally caught a stream. Also, I always loved that skeleton dancing gif. Isn't it perfect? It's keeping the microphone from being too lonely. Ugh. Okay, you know what? This is actually a lot more straws than I thought I was going to be blessed with. So we're going to take it. We're going to accept it. And then these ones, they can go in the compost. Come on. Whew. There we go. Okay. Straubs is done. I'm having the vitamin water Serenity melon hibiscus. I don't know if you can see that very well. Well, there's the English side, which is probably what matters to you most. And then the French side, if you're curious. Sérénité, melon et hibiscus. It's very pleasant tasting water. And I'm telling myself that it's gonna calm me down. And only time will tell. I mean, I'm already pretty calm just hanging out with you guys. You guys are excellent company, I must say. Rob says, oh, it's nice to know that I'm missed. I appreciate that a lot, and I miss you also. You're so sweet. I'll take that as I haven't been here. I say run over, but it was more of knocked over. I was stood next to my van unloading a customer shopping, and some idiot came around the corner on his phone in his car and drove into me and knocked me down. What? What the fuck is this level of disrespect? Do you not see a whole man standing there? I remember I was such a cunt when I was first hired to Starbucks, and I learned that like we were allowed to have like 5 drinks in the day. I'd get a few drinks that I wanted to actually drink and some that I would like save for later, because I would have to walk, especially if I was downtown. Oh man, if I was downtown, fuck, I had to have a beverage on me for this shit, just for this very occasion. Drivers in Toronto especially are absolutely out of control. Completely out of fucking control. And they are not afraid to run you over and like just drive away because it's Toronto and it's packed and it's busy. They won't stop and check up on you. They have to go, or the next 50 people behind them are honking and they don't want to hold up traffic, so they also just don't give a shit. That's fine too. When I would go to cross the street, if anyone like turning right at the intersection when I was trying to cross would try to encroach, or if someone got way too close to the sidewalk where I was walking, I would huck my drink at their fucking windshield. Like, are you dumb? I'm right here. Maybe you didn't see me, but maybe you didn't see that drink either, eh? Make them think they fucking hit me. Give them a reason to shit themselves. You're gonna be reckless and wilding? Well, so am I. Lizzie says, I haven't had vitamin water in so long, but it was all the rage at school in like 2008 for some reason. I remember that. There was like a shortage and shit because people were like really feeling that vitamin water. People were all about it. What is it? I really quite like vitamin water, but I have to not lie to myself and understand that there's no actual nutritional value in it. It's just flavored water. That is why they sell it for $1. This is a very shiny... Oh, there's still saran wrap. I'm so dumb today. Oh, dear. Okay. Well, they double wrapped it, which is pretty sweet. I'm having a dumb day today. What is wrong with me? I just want to eat this watermelon. It would put a really big smile on my face. Get it? I think I'm so funny. All right, let's do this. We have our container. We have a lid for said container. I tried to stage some shit so that I wouldn't be like looking around and confused. Echo Helion says, just preparing breakfast myself. Had like a power outage that lasted like the whole day yesterday, but it fixed my sleep schedule for now. Well, that's helpful. Any crazy plans for the day? Rob says, hit the deck kind of hard, but more because I had a crate in my hand, so I hit the floor. Ended up sore and in pain for over a week. Cut my chin and cheek. I'm now covered in bruises and damaged a tooth as I hit the floor. And then I ended up having to pull the broken bits out earlier today because the pain was too much. That's horrible. Holy shit. And then Rob says, yeah, the guy didn't see the mid-sized bloke in a working form or the 8-foot wide van, but you know. I hope you got the man plates so that you could give the man plates to the popo. Fuck. Or did this take place near where there's like security footage from like a business or something? Maybe you can let them know, hi, I got run over like over there. Maybe you have cameras. Maybe you can give me the footage from this day or time. And maybe if you don't want to give it to me, you can give it to the police. I missed anything? I don't think I've missed anything. Echo says that person had the awareness of a Skyrim NPC. I need a better knife for this. This is a steak knife, and this is also a bad decision. Rob says, sadly I didn't, but I got the make and model of the car, so I told them that and the color and the area it happened. Fair. I imagine when you do get hit by a car, it's not really your first order of action to capture information. I know when I got into my car accident, it was kind of not the first order of my operations, as it were. Then again, that one was so bad, I think I, like, on impact, just started having a full-blown panic attack. It was like, oh my god. Again, I was just focused on how Sabu was getting fixed. I needed to be available to go get Sabu, and then I didn't have time for the stupid car accident, which is not reasonable. Right, so did you guys want to hear about my prof who lied about breaking his ankle? Because he's a... diva. I swear to God, this man is a problem. Rob says, honestly, I doubt I'm going to hear anything. They usually are pretty big on hit and run drivers because he drove off, but the only other witness who came to make sure I was okay didn't get the reg either. Fuck! That's so frustrating. I hate people. I hate that happened to you. I'm so upset, and I really hope that you make a full recovery. Hello, sir? There we go. There we go. Oh, Frolf is here. How are you? Never seen that color vitamin water. What kind is it? It looks like spinach. I understand why you would say that. It is Serenity. Oh, what's that? Can I get any closer? Yeah, I can. It's really delightful tasting water. That's all I can say about that. All right. I see that Rob and Lizzie want to hear the story. So, I am taking a course called Modern Economic History. And it is a course that I erroneously thought would be interesting. It's just really boring. I struggle with history because I only learned it in French, and I did not learn the capacity to learn it in English, same way I did in French. So I just generally don't like history that much. So this is like a sociology course. This has an economy, an economics component to it. This should be cool. And it's the history of Canada, which I learned in enough languages that I should be able to deal with it. This man is old, okay? I cannot state this enough. He is old. And he doesn't want to do Zoom. He doesn't want to give lectures over Zoom. He doesn't want to explain any of the material that we have to read. He basically just asks us questions whenever we ask him questions, like for clarity about assignments, about the material we're reading, how it applies. It's pretty much just go fuck yourself. So we started going in person 4 weeks ago. We had one class and it was fine. And then the next class, this guy emails us on Tuesday night of the next week to say, unfortunately, I've fallen on the ice and broken my ankle whilst walking the dog this morning. There will be no more class until further notice. Noted. So there's reading week, and then fast forward to last week. This man sends out a message just saying, I look forward to seeing you all in class tomorrow. Bring the following books for discussion purposes. He sends this message at like 7 p.m. Thursday night. The class is at 9 a.m. the next fucking day. You could have missed that, you know? Anyways, so we go into the class. And the first thing I do is I observe that this man is not hobbling. He's walking perfectly fine. The man at some point jumps. I don't know why. I think he dropped something and it rolled and he just jumped so he wouldn't trip on it. There's no air cast. There's no boot on this man. He's just fucking fine. And no one brought it up. And no one brought it up. And this is the same man who, like, I don't know what prompted him, but he just exclaimed, I am not a communist, I'm not a Marxist, I'm not a Leninist, and I'm certainly not a Stalinist. And he's looking around at us like, you could not possibly fathom that I am, a Stalinist, heaven forbid. And it was like, well, no one was accusing you of that until you fucking drew attention to that. So, around the house, I call him definitely not a Stalinist and definitely didn't break his ankle. That's his name. That's what we refer to him as in this household. I think the students are so fed up with this man's antics. Because he's got, like, tenure, but he doesn't know how to teach. And the other thing, this man has a PhD in communication. He has a PhD in communication. And he could not communicate to save his damn life. This is evidenced when he gave us an assignment. He gave us 2 essays, actually. And as he was grading them, he went on our E-class, module, just sending us all a message that we could all see that just says, none of you understood the assignment. You guys have an extension of 2 weeks to redo this and emphasize, these 2 points about the assignment. And I was like, we didn't even fucking talk about those concepts for this essay when you were giving us the instructions. But we're the idiots. We didn't read the instructions. We didn't understand anything. I don't think the man realizes that it's a him problem and not an us problem. Okay, Frolf says, we live in. I'm feeling serene already. I'm so glad. Welcome to the party. We're here to chill. We're chorping watermelon to this overfilling container. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Rob says, I'm much better than I was, but I still went to work the next 3 days after because work sucks. They had no one to cover, so I had no choice, which is stupid, but I know all about that from Starbucks. You'll be like, hi, I have pneumonia. I have laryngitis and I have no voice. I'm on antibiotics. They'd be like, well, we have no one else to cover, so you coming in or what? It's like, I'm calling in sick. You're coming in, right? It's like they don't understand. Rob says, yeah, because fuck everyone else's social lives, am I right? Pertinent. Does he look like Lenin or Stalin? Okay, well, he's bald, so I don't know what they look like off the top. Don't they both have aggressive mustaches? Oh, I learned something really cute the other day. Apparently, the word for whiskers in French is moustache. I don't look at my cats the same way. I see their mustaches and I'm like, oh, little gentleman you are. Oh, man. Rob says, Lenin, I knew it. Well, I guess he definitely can't be a Stalinist then, if he's Lenin. Lizzie says, I never liked history very much, but as it turns out, if I'm watching a story that's historical but also has a hot Scottish guy in it, I retain information much better. I love that. Frolf says, I hate to steal things. Rob says, just walk in one day and say, good morning, comrade. Hey, I have a license for communication as well. Well, shit. Do you use it very much? Or is it like one of those like college things where you go to school, you just have to get a diploma or a degree or something? Anyone else seen SpongeBob? I can see it becoming a how many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man. Yeah. I mean, he should be retiring any minute now. The man also booked a trip to San Francisco during our semester. So he's going to be fucking the fuck off for 3 weeks during a 12-week long semester. I'm like, I've never seen a prof take a vacation during a semester. Unless they were doing like a remote learning course where like they don't need to go in person, then that's fine. That's understandable. This man has lectures that are in person. It doesn't help that apparently York University is considered a communist school. I don't know. It's just the talk amongst the grapevine. But that's not why I picked them. I picked them because it's only them and U Ottawa that have a translation program. Rob. Work would turn up at my funeral and ask me if I'll be in on Monday. I hate that I relate to that because of Starbucks. Starbucks would totally do that. Like, I hate them. I hate the culture around work so much. Rob says Lenin is balding but has a mustache. Yes. Stalin has the thick mustache, though. With the 3 C's, though. Is it like the... I can't describe it. I probably have it on my plate. So many moons ago, I bought these little dessert plates. I bought a set for me and a set for Jordan. She was my best friend and she was getting married. And I wanted to get her a good present. It's like how you get like matching charm bracelets or necklaces for you and your BFF. I got us matching dessert plates. Okay, does Stalini have a walrus or an imperial? I'm trying to turn this upright. This is my dessert plate, and I'm trying to keep it in the right direction. I'll hold it up while I read this chat. Lizzie says, tenured profs don't give a heck. They really don't, though. Rob says, I'm a ham radio operator, which means I have a license to communicate over certain frequencies. It still classes as a qualification. Okay. I almost got ham radio certified as a teenager during one of my parents' weird prepper phases. Weird. That's super interesting. That is an amazing plate. Thank you. I saw it and I knew that we must have it. It's one of my favorite things. Right, I need to get more bowls. Am I really out of bowls? Whew. Well, this will not do. This is much better. Lizzie, I had no idea. Rob says it's closer to a walrus than other things. Well, nothing else here is really quite so aggressive, you know? It's this guy here. LOL. I love that. I don't think the man could grow a walrus in the prime of his life. Just judging by the way he looks now. Purely a judgment. Just a judgment. But yeah. Perhaps. God, I had a prof, an English prof, not last semester, the semester before that though. And he was like, he could not stop talking about Marxism. Marxism. He couldn't get Marx's left nut out of his fucking throat. And it was really annoying. Because we were supposed to talk about, like, contemporary literature and perspectives and reading with different lenses. This man would default to Marxist all day, every day. And it drove me ballistic. I was like, what is this guy's problem? So we had to write an essay in a certain lens. So we could pick feminist, we could pick queer, we could pick Marxist, of course. We could pick, what else did we do? Colonial perspective or lens, I guess. There was also one called deconstructionism, which he didn't even really explain, if I'm being honest. He was like, well, no one's going to do this one anyways. And I was like, can you leave that decision for me to make? I like deconstructing things. It's how I understand them. But I don't really know anything about deconstructionism. I'm not trying to get in shit. Yeah, so anyway, so because I was ripping on this man for just being obsessed with Marx and him managing to bring it up every single class for like the entire semester. That when it came to the final essay, I was like, okay, I'll just write mine in the Marxist perspective because he will not shut up about it. And if he's clearly slanted in this direction, if I write it like this, he'll probably grade me nicely for it. Would you believe it? But technology fucked me, fully snaked me. And apparently he just never got my fucking paper. And so I emailed him because I never got a grade. And I was like, hey, I didn't get a grade for this essay and I submitted it. And he was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Like, just send it to me now. And like, if you looked at the Word document, it was like time-stamped and proper encoding and everything. The man's just being a fucking snake. He's like, the best I can give you is a C, but I really loved your essay. And then we started talking about communism. He was like, this is the person that converted me. I love them so much. And we have meetings where we talk about it all of the time. And I really love those times. I wish more people were, on the dark side. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, communist. And I was like, oh shit, this guy thinks I'm a commie. Thankfully, it was the end of the semester when we were having this conversation, so I wasn't so freaked the fuck out. Didn't feel like I needed to put up a facade too much. I just was like, thank you for a great semester. I hope to never take an English class with you ever again. Au revoir. And now, after my French class, this guy teaches an English class, exact same course that I took last semester. And so my class is in there, and then his class goes in there, and he is the grumpiest man in my entire life. So he came in early to the classroom the other day, and I was still talking to my, classmate in French. I was like, we were talking about our assignment. I don't know what we were saying. We were talking in French, and he was like, he looked so grumpy about us existing in that classroom. I was like, oh. This is the guy. This is the guy who cannot get Karl Marx's left nut out of his fucking throat. I missed? Rob says at Nocturnal Lizzie. Oh! Hello! Welcome to the stream. We're being rated. I was literally just getting caught up on the chat. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Hello, Meatless Jerky. Hello, Tara Joy Now. How you guys doing? How's your night going? All right. Hello, Guinevere. How are you? How was your stream? I'm literally just prepping so much fruit right now. I can't. We're going bananas over here. We're literally going bananas. It's happening. We're doing it. We're peeling these bananas and we're gonna make muffins. For real this time. This is not a drill. We're making muffins. We're putting all this damn fruit away! Oh, okay, great. Rob says, can I have some fruit? Absolutely. If this would actually keep on the way to England, I absolutely would send you some. Let me just ferry this back into the fridge for future snacking and related purposes. Excellent. Ooh. Tara Jace is doing so well. How's your kitchen time going? It's going really well. I was super nervous when I started this because I'd been having a mostly good day and then it went a little off track. But you know what? We're getting it back. We're getting it back and it's going so much better now. Guinevere's stream was good. We made chocolate souffle. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Meatless Jerky says day's been pretty good. Just having a cozy time. Ooh, that sounds good. Lizzie says Nana time. So no better time than Nana time, that's for sure. Okay, what am I doing? I need to get a container. Let's just start peeling bananas. God. So I have way more bananas than I should because last week we had a surprise mystery grocery delivery and there was bananas in it, which is awesome. But also, I feel bad someone didn't get their groceries, and Walmart wouldn't pick up my damn calls to figure out whose these were. Anyways, so that's why I have 8 bananas here instead of just 4, and why I feel like a piece of shit for not doing anything with these bananas. These aren't even that terribly ripe. I really missed bad. Okay. Oh. I got a big scary call from a lawyer, and that's what I was so nervous about. But it was really nothing. It's just related to my parents a little bit, but like, I just hate my parents. That's the beginning and the end of it. What am I missing in the chat? Move aside banana peels. Rob says it's because I'm here, isn't it? Absolutely. Gwen says, love a banana muffin. Who doesn't, though? You absolutely cannot go wrong. I love putting butterscotch chips in mine. Like, ever since I first started making these muffins, I don't think I've gone back to chocolate chip. I don't mess around with white chocolate chips much, even though the recipe I use really recommends white chocolate chips as well, as being really good for this. But butterscotch is so good. There's not enough butterscotch in the world. Lizzie says, what an appealing thing to find on your porch. Well, I was in the middle of the stream when the doorbell went off, and Madra and I were like, continue the stream. So then, I think 2 hours later, I just went to the door because I was expecting a delivery of a book, and I just look and I see all these bags, and I'm like looking for some kind of receipt that says like DoorDash or Uber or something. Like, who does this belong to? Because it is not me. This does not belong to me. And nothing. I think I told you guys the story last time, but I called Walmart like 6 or 8 times, going to different departments trying to be like, hello, meat, I got groceries by mistake. Hello, dairy, I got groceries by mistake. Like, help me get these to the right people. And no one would pick up. And I tried calling the next day too, because I just was like, I couldn't live with myself. But then, we still have the damn groceries. I donated a lot of it, if I'm being honest, because a lot of it I was like, I don't know that I'll eat this in time, and I would also just feel very guilty eating it. So I will give. I will simply give. It's fine. Gwen says you can peel them and cut them up and freeze the ones you don't need and use them in a smoothie or defrost later. That is so intelligent. I was thinking I was just going to like put them all in a container and then pray for what was to come later. I don't think things through very well. LOL, the banana toss. I love chucking things into the sink. I specifically make sure that the sink is clear in order to receive whatever I toss into it. Tara says, I do butterscotch chips too. They're superior. They absolutely are. Gwen says, I agree. Butterscotch chips are the underdog of the chocolate chip universe. They really are. The other secret is the mix of chips and chunks when you get chocolate chips. Usually chocolate is what they offer this in. I've seen white chocolate too, though. When you get chips and chunks in the same bag, it's all over. That's it. But also minis are good, but I have a hard time finding the best use for mini chocolate chips. I just like eating them. Lizzie says, the timing of the doorbell was so good with what the stream was about. I don't even remember what was going on when that happened. Oh, man. That was a whole mess. That was a whole entire mess. Oh, I'm causing problems. I'm very good at causing problems, it seems. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna start tenderizing these for the muffins. Again, they're not as soft as I thought they would be because they look like they're super mega ripe. Like, they smell super mega ripe. I really thought they were ready. But we're mashing them. We're mashing them. I know once I get this all going, these are going to be needed real quick. So if they're not mashed and starting to... What is the technical term for it? They just need to chill in this mashed state for some reason. For reasons. I'm on a banana. Honestly, I was not expecting to make these muffins today. The premise when we started was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I feel like crap. I can't. I also just don't want at the same time. I hate wasting food so much. It makes me feel like shit. But we need to prep these because they're so far gone right now. Okay. There's this. Hi, hello. Is there another container in here? Oh, it's a giant lid. Ugh. I caused a problem. It's okay. I fixed it. Okay, this is for baking. Oh, she dented. Oh, she fixed. She's fixed. She fits and she sits. We're good. We're good. Crisis averted. These are not much riper. They're really not. God, I keep aiming for the drain basket. I'm so bad at chucking. This is much riper. God, the day that I got those groceries was the day I had gone to Costco and bought a bunch of stuff. So I was like, where am I gonna keep all this? Whew. So, any crazy plans for the week, everybody? Talk to me. What you got going on? Hello? I have a class on Friday. 9 a.m. to noon, the usual. With definitely not a Stalinist and definitely didn't break his ankle. That man is... Okay. She rotted. She rotted. You know what? That is okay. So now that our fruit is prepped, we are ready to go. Ugh. Right. So I have a bowl. This can go in the freezer. It's literally just a container of bananas. Hello, sir? Would you behave? Ugh. Sorry, the pretzels are in the way, and I can't. I think... Okay, let's do this intelligently, and let's pull up the recipe first before we try to experiment. Okay. Usually I have my book. I'm much better prepared than this. Okay. Je l'ai bien trouvé. On est prêt. Okay. Right, this requires quite a bit of stuff. But I have it all, so it's fine. Again, usually I am better prepared. Usually I stage my stuff a little bit ahead of time. We got the 2 eggs. I need oil. J'ai besoin de farine. Oh, c'est de la farine, du sucre. Hello, sir? Oh, man. All right. Farine, sucre, de l'huile, les bananes, bicarb. That's not bicarb, but I need this anyways. Okay. I literally just opened this box yesterday for a different thing I was making. It was pancake mix. I was making pancake mix. And now I just need chips. That's the one. Okay, we have our act together. Mostly, kind of, sort of, not really. Okay. Okay. Let me just check the chat to make sure that things are not burning down. Oh, merhaba, totally an expert. Hoş geldin. Okay, what have I missed? I feel like I missed so much. Meatless Jerky says, I don't know how to explain this, but like ripe bananas and butterscotch have a similar flavor vibe to me, like almost caramelly, but not. I completely agree with... We completely agree with you. I see it. There is like a caramelly texture to the flavor of banana. Sometimes it's more prominent, sometimes it's more candy-like, and it just works magically with butterscotch chips. Like, it's not fair how good it is with butterscotch chips. Chocolate chips never stood a chance. Oh no. Okay. Lizzie says, you were talking shit about Trudeau, and I also mentioned fearing the cops coming to take you down for your painted nails. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that. Oh, man. And I went and got my nails done. Oh shit. That was a beautiful moment. I was talking bare shit about PMJT, and then the doorbell goes off, and I'm like, is that the police coming for me and my painted nails and my opinions about PMJT? This is why Madrat told me not to get political on Twitch. Frolf says, I already made a pie, but now I want to make banana bread muffins. They're really good. There's something comforting about them. And you just can't go wrong. Alright. I know I need to use a jug at some point for this. Let me just get that out. On Eva. Okay, good. There is a battery in this. There is a God and there is a battery. Amazing. Echo says, seeing those bananas made me want to eat some... eat some Turon. What is Turon? Frolf says, I have an exam to write and I big don't want to. What's the exam on? Tell me all about it. Maybe we can help you study. If it's something I know anything about, I'd be happy to help. If it's about French, I'm your girl. Tara says, we all get a little rotted sometimes. It's okay, banana. I'm sorry that I failed you. Just petting the banana in the sink. Lizzie says, my week is pretty devoid of plans, which means reading and nail art. That sounds good. And then Totally an Expert showed up. Hush Bulldog. Now I gotta use a VPN to watch in Russia. Ugh. That's... I wanted to say I'm so sorry in Turkish, but I wanted to say lütfen, which I'm pretty sure is please. That's the wrong word. Oh dear. That sucks. How are you doing over there, by the way? I guess I'd say nasılsın. Nasılsın? Neredesin? Why are the words literally escaping me right now? Rob says, that was it. Officer is here. No. I've got the matching toesies too, but don't tell the police. Echo says, Turon is banana wrapped in spring roll wrapping and then fried and drizzled with some caramel. Oh, I've had that. I don't know where. I've had that, though. And I remember it being really, really good. Sorry, I just see Rob going, double offender. Get her. I can't. Guinevere says, ooh, Echo, that sounds so good. There's so much going on. What sounds good? Oh, Frolf says, I actually have to write the exam for my students. It's a chemistry test. It doesn't exist. Ugh. My mom was a chemist, and I never understood chemistry. It sounds so interesting, though, and I wish I understood it. Lizzie saying, petting the banana in the sink is such an interesting combination of words. I mean, it really is, isn't it? You don't hear that every day. Okay. We're going to start with the oil. I measure it. The recipe calls for 125, but I often feel brave and only do like 85 or 90. Or 96 today, where I'm a little heavy-handed. We're just a little heavy-handed. It's okay. And we just beat the eggs in. This is like my favorite measuring cup. I think I literally broke it on stream. And I went out like within 2 days to replace it at IKEA. There we go. Le voilà. C'est prêt. And then we got this puppy here. My hands are already covered in egg. Totally an expert says Lutfanis, please. I'm sorry is Üzgünüm. Üzgünüm. Huh. I mean, I feel like there was a different way we said sorry when, but then I have to remember that no one in my family says I'm sorry, like, ever. So, I mean, I could be misremembering that. Hello, spatula. All right. Okay, I need a whisk as well. All right. We're doing this. We're really doing this. For real this time. Okay, where am I in the... Right, was it totally an expert? I was trying to remember how we would say, I'm sorry. I will look this up, because this was one that I vaguely remember was different. Rob says double offender. I can't say shit, I painted my fingernails the other day as well. Both guilty. And then totally an expert says I am a chemical engineer, so I kind of understand it. Okay. Lizzie says Sync Bananas would make a good band name. Future ideas. Lizzie says IKEA has surprisingly good kitchen stuff, to be honest. Seriously though, hidden gem, I have to say. I feel like I go in there, and even though I've already bought everything at least once in my life, or I've seen my parents buy it or someone else has bought it and I've used it at their place, I'm still weak to their stuff. I still want to buy their stuff. Like, I have a spatula or 6 and I want to buy another spatula. I have 4 or 5 whisks in my drawer and I use them all, and I want to buy more because I just have no self-control. I need to stir shit up. Oh, come on. Not sugar. Doing 100 gram of shugs. Let's rock and roll. Exactly 100 gram of shugs, followed by, oh right, I'm reading the wrong thing here. 250 grams of flour. We love that. I don't have a scoop here, do I? I do not. Okay. That's fine. I love my adorable little scoop. Damn. Frolf and Totally an Expert are both chemical engineers. If I'm reading this correctly, I could be reading it wrong. That's awesome. Lizzie says I have a weakness for kitchen stuff, but especially cutesy kitchen stuff. I have a whisk that looks like a carrot, a spaghetti scooper that looks like a dinosaur. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that. I have like a serving ladle that looks like Nessie, and it's absolutely adorbs. And I used to have a problem, okay? Now I am the problem, but I used to have a problem where I would order too much shit off of eBay because you could like auction like shit for like 1 cent, win it for 25 cents or something. And I swear to God, I ordered exactly one of these ladles, and then I was like, you know what? I'll order 2 of them. Why not? And then I got like 10. You guys would not believe it. I got 10 of these fucking ladles. Let me just put this away. This is the ladle. It's adorable, and I love it. And it has little legs on the bottom. And it just, can I set it down here? It just stands up, and it can stand up in a pot or in whatever you're working with. And it's so cute. It is unreasonably cute, I think. Oh, thank you, Tara, for the sub. Not the sub, the follow. Thank you for the follow. God. Hold on. Okay, I feel like I'm missing so much. Frolf says, cooking by mass is so much nicer. This whole I bake with cups thing gets old when I try to cook something from anywhere else on earth. It's wild, right? Ever since I started cooking with like weight, my food has turned out so much more consistent. I appreciate it so much more. Because before it was like a crapshoot if you were gonna like get one consistency or one outcome for your meal or what. Like, that shit's stressful. Yes, Nessie is fine. Gwen says, I still have my Nessie ladle you gave me. Yes! I remember being so nervous to give you and your mom those because I was like, are they gonna think I'm a child? But I'm so glad you guys like them. Italian expert says, ooh. Oh, Gwen says, she's still going strong. Agree. I get upset when I have to use volume measures. It's stressful. It's so stressful. Okay, you know what? Nessie is going to stay here. Nessie is replacing Sabu today, but don't tell Sabu that. When Sabu's ready, he can come back to us. It's fine. We forgive him. This guy was ready to go right at 5 o'clock. He was sitting here looking at the laptop, looking at me like, stream time? We are streaming the kitchen together, right? And I was like, oh my God, I need a minute. I need to figure my shit out. And he's like, you know what? I've had enough of your shit. And he just went and had a nap. And I think he's still napping. He's probably cuddling with Rocky on the bed right now. They're so cute together. Lizzie says, Nessie ladle. Gwen says, oh my God, no, I love the ladle. Are you kidding? I almost exclusively use a Hello Kitty shaped spatula at home. How can you not, though? I feel like the cuter things are in the kitchen, the more likely you are to actually use and like enjoy them. And that's the most important part, I think. All right, this is the most delicate part of this whole operation. Hold on. Tisp. This is not a tisp. Okay. Don't have another tisp kicking around. All right, this is a quarter of a tisp. Tisp is teaspoon. It's just, the tablespoons are TBS, and the teaspoons are tisp to me. Oh, man. Okay, this is Magic Baking Pow. So we want about 1 tisp, which will be about 4 of these because this is a quarter. I try to make sure that they're level, but I'm not terribly worried if I get too much. And voila. C'est ça fait. And then this is bicarb. Bicarbonate de soude. If I was on my own with just English, I would have no idea what is baking powder and what is baking soda. I'm not going to lie to you. The only reason I know this is bicarb is because it says bicarbonate in French. I feel like that's cheating on some level, though. I should know better. I'm the bakist here. I'm baking these muffins, and I've baked them before successfully. That doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. I'm just shooting in the dark, and we're getting it right. Okay, so we haven't fucked it up yet. So the bananas have been mashed and set aside. The oil and this have been over here. They have not been beaten yet, though. Together, at least. This is like the worst part about this. I don't know how this sounds on the microphone, actually. Probably the worst technique I could possibly be using, but like it's working. Okay, I see you. Now we pour the pow. No, the pow is fine. And then we dump this mixture in, and then we dump the other stuff in. All right, on y va. We're doing this, and we're doing so well. We are surviving and we are thriving. And now I can go back into obs. Okay, it's coming together nicely, I think. Charlie, an expert, says, did they have problems getting used to each other? Cebu and Rocky, I mean. They got along fine almost immediately. Actually, that's a fucking lie. So, when we first got Cebu, this guy was really brave, and he just wanted to go out. He thought he was Rambo and just defend us against Rocky. We were trying so hard to get him to make any kind of a noise in order for Rocky to know that, you know, there's a new cat in the house. And this guy was silent. And so Rocky had no idea there was another cat in the house. And then at some point, Madrat and I were in the bathroom where we had set Cebu up. And I think it was Madrat that was leaving, but Rocky darted in when he opened the door and saw this cat and like froze. And Cebu was like, what? And Rocky also didn't fucking meow. Rocky was like, fuck's this guy doing here? Like, who's this? And so the first night, Cebu was really scared of Rocky. And after that literal initial night, he's obsessed with Rocky. Sir, let my bananas go. Gotta mash it into the mixture a little bit. I did not put vanilla in, but the recipe does not call for vanilla. It might be too late to add vanilla. They went through a phase of fighting a lot. They get along mostly well now. They're very different cats. Rocky's a lot more like a dog. Cebu's a cat. But he's also an extremely sociable cat. Like, this guy broke into the bathroom when I was trying to get ready this morning. So, he's so embarrassing, this cat. Oh my God. He needs to have his morning greeting, cuddles, pets time, brushing, and having his teeth and fur brushed by me, and then me brushing my teeth and fur, like, my life. But they get along mostly well. Sometimes Cebu decides to just jump on Rocky, and Rocky does not like that very much, but they mostly get along. It's very long-winded. Tisp, tisp, tisp. Echo says, man, I gotta make some fried rice later. It's been a couple of days. Fried rice is so good. I miss having fried rice so much. Madrat used to make a really mean, like, egg fried rice. You would just need to, like, cook rice up the night before, pop it in the fridge overnight, and then the next morning you've got a solid breakfast. Rolf says, baking soda it by carb. They just change all our recipes so you don't have to know which is which. Baking soda is bicarb. Is it? I'm so confused. Because my recipe called for baking soda and bicarbonate of soda. Unless I was lied to. Which is possible that I just did not, like, follow the cues properly. Up until recently, I was not very good at following directions. I would just follow my heart. Totally Expert says, how would you compare your mastery of different languages? Is your French comparable to your Arabic or something? My French is my most actively used language that's not English. I'm going to grab that vanilla before I forget. I've been making a super active effort to like keep my French because I worked super hard in French immersion to acquire it. And then like everyone in my life was like, oh, you must do French immersion, you must stay in it because you'll get so many great opportunities, blah, 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 blah. And I never saw really any of them until very, very recently. And it's because I'm getting like a piece of paper that's worth disgusting amounts of money. Like I'm getting a university education that says I speak French. So my French is really good, but I worked really fucking hard to keep it because like I live in Ontario where we don't have a lot of francophones here. I'm really good with French in terms of like writing. I'm really good at speaking it. When I've gone to Paris before, I did really well on my own. People were actually really surprised by my French. They were like, your French is really nice. Where are you from? And when I'd say, oh, I'm from Canada, they'd be like, you're not from Quebec. And I'm like, you're absolutely correct. I am not from Quebec. And what about it? It'd be like, so where are you from? I'm like, I say I'm from Toronto, even though I live in Oakville, because who the fuck knows where Oakville is when you're like in Paris? They're like, not very well aware of the GTA and who she is, which is fine. They don't need to know terribly much about it. My Arabic is pretty rough. So I very recently took lessons at the conservatory. But I took my lessons in Arabic, and I was able to receive instruction in Arabic and express myself. And that singing teacher told me that she thought my Arabic was really good, that she was actually able to understand me, and she said that it seemed like I had a limited vocabulary, but that the ideas I was expressing were really clear. And so if she didn't know that I was struggling, she would just think that like my Arabic was fine and that I was, just talking normally. I'm gonna grab this muffin tray. I'm about to make muffins. Fuck, where are these? Where are the damn tins? Found them. I'm just fighting with everything in my kitchen right now. This means war. All right, the war is over. The war is fully over now. All right, this was squished and under a bunch of stuff, so we're using up the last 3. The last 3. We love that. And all publicity. Right. So my English is probably fine. I haven't been assessed. Actually, that's a lie. I have been assessed. I have a good high proficiency as a native speaker in French and English, but because I cannot go in as fluidly bilingual in both, I picked to go in the Anglo stream, so I'm English speaker with a native proficiency going into French as a second language kind of studies. But apparently, like, when they saw my results, they were like, do you want to go in as a francophone or do you want to go in as an anglophone? And I was like, Anglo? Just so as to not snake myself because I'm stuck with you fuckers for the next 4 years. Oh, man. Okay. Life is beautiful. And now we integrate these ships. I hope that answers your question. I was probably very, very long-winded. I think my Turkish is very, very basic. So the thing with Turkish, for at least like from my experience, so my mom is Arab, and she spoke Arabic. That was her native tongue, her mother tongue, the main language that she worked in, that she studied her degree in and stuff. But she also learned French and English when she was growing up. So she had those as like a base, just from the word go, which is fine. But her Arabic was also kind of advanced. She was really good at Arabic because it was one of the only languages she was working over and over again. And she is a perfectionist and needs to be the best at everything. When she had to move to Turkey because of the war in Iraq, her and I were going out every single day in Ankara just to get away from shit at home, basically. And so she was out interacting with people and listening to the way people talk. And she also heard Turkish being spoken at home. So she was picking up and she was asking my dad, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Because he knew Turkish a lot better than she did. And so she picked it up over the course of like 2 months. She was able to like go out, get us some food. We would go to the park. She would be able to understand like basic conversation. She was able to make basic conversation, is probably the better way of putting that. It sounds like she's eavesdropping on people, which I don't think she really was. You know what I mean. This is about 100 gram of chips. This recipe calls for 250 grams of chips, which I find really scary. Integrating them all together. Ooh, this is so good. This looks so great. I love this. Oh, that banana. The caramel's really coming through. I don't know how it's possible. Usually the batter does not have this level of aromatic potency, but today it's really coming through. Well, I don't know if you're in Quebec, so I don't know if you speak French regularly. So I have a prof who's a Quebecoise lady, and she's the sweetest thing in the world. Quebec is not that terribly far off of regular French. If anything, their gramming. Give me a second. Their grammar is linguistically closer to proper French than grammar is in France. What is wrong with me? I cannot. This will not be smoothed over. This is refusing. Okay. All right. Lindsay says you could probably still add the vanilla at this point, and I did. I'm sorry that I did not read the comment earlier. Bicarb soda and baking soda are the same thing, yeah. Huh. I'm probably just dumb, and that's fine. I'm allowed to be dumb about things. I'm trying to learn. And I think that's all that matters. I'm just trying to learn. Echo says, how about regular soda? Oh dear. Don't put that in the muffin mix. It may not work out very well for the muffins. Totally Next Word says, gramming is a nice verb. I like it. I remember when I lived with my parents, we would like flow in and out of at certain points in my life, English, Arabic, and Turkish. and some Turkmen, but I never really spoke Turkmen very much, which is whatever. And I never felt like I struggled to express myself somehow. I knew I could switch gears and speak a different language. And I knew sometimes like saying something in Arabic would have more impact than it would in English, or in French it would be so much more eloquent. So my mom did try to speak to me in French. She knew French. And probably still does know French. She just hasn't used it in 5 ever in a day. Here we go. Oh yeah, I should turn the oven on. Preheating that oven because I forgot to do it earlier. Oh man. It's only recently that I felt like I'm struggling to express myself more, and I'm touching the muffin mix and I'm not sure why. Why do I snake myself like this? I don't understand. I was doing so well and then I had to pet it. God. Right. So I've been listening to a lot of like Arabic news and Arabic. There's like, I guess, talk shows that they have in Iraq that I like listening to. There was one I remember watching forever ago. I was legit probably like 50. But I remember they were talking about like hot button issues like, are tattoos acceptable in Iraq now? And what about piercings? And what about the religious perspective? Like, and I thought it was super interesting. Like, nothing about it was very political. They went out onto the streets and talked to people. Like, it was a talk show with the traditional setup, but they also had people that went out and I guess, surveyed other people. And I liked it, because I've never been able to go back to Iraq. Which is fine. I don't need to go back necessarily, but to have the option would be nice. I know that the hospital I was born in is, like, very long gone. Oop. There we go. Yes, I will put this here for the moment. Just stir this up a little bit. Whenever I hear stir it up, or I use the verb to stir, I always think of Bob Marley's song, Stir It Up. It starts playing in my head almost automatically. Oh man, it's like a force of habit almost. It's like a rule that was created in my head or something. It's gotta stir it up, immediately hear the song. Ugh. It's like, damn it, I just got that song out of my head. So Bob Marley's son started a coffee company, and the coffee's actually really good. And I enjoy playing Bob Marley's music while having the coffee made by Bob Marley's son. It's like my fave. I'm literally just topping up these muffins. They're gonna be so thick. God, now I have this song stuck in my head. I can't. This muffin mix, it is too much. And I should probably clean this up. Oh, wow. That's a wild little excess. Yeah, it is. Oh, this is a little bit too much excitement for my liking. I was not prepared for any of this. I did not have muffins on the mind when I entered the chat today on the stream. Oh man. Alrighty. have muffins. My phone was vibrating. But we're good. Nobody needs me. And next, I will make chicken. Ooh. Okay. I have scissors under this chicken because that's how we do. That's just how we do. And I may have to mute my mic because I have to get juice from about a lemon and a half because these ones don't have nearly as much juice as I'd like. I mean, you can't want them all. It is what it is. I've got my garlic. It's got a little thing. I love my freezer garlic so much, but if I don't put it in water, it doesn't turn out right. I don't know why. Okay. The countdown. So 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Yes! Alright. Timer for 20 minutes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I make very ugly noises when I'm excited. It's just how we do in this household. Alright, let me just de-seed these puppies. De-seeded. So an expert says, damn, Iraq being progressive. I mean, they were trying. This was closer to when the war had, like, calmed down a little bit, I think. I'm not sure. But I think they were trying so hard to be, like... I don't know. I don't think their media was allowed to do very much during that war because it was all about security. And so they were, like... I don't know. I feel like Iraq is a pretty progressive country because they have a lot of diverse, like, different kinds of people there. I'm just off camera making noise. There we go. Okay, we're good. I'm done making ugly noises now, I think, and I hope I'm done making ugly noises. It's my juicer's turn to make ugly noises, and hopefully not in a way that you guys can hear. Lizzie says, while you were murdering the watermelon, I kept thinking of the Harry Styles song. I forgot he wrote a song called Watermelon. Gwen says they're going to be beefy boys. Yeah, they are. Lizzie says thick muffins. 3 C's. That's them. Do you know the trick about rolling lemons before juicing them? I have heard it, actually. I know Madrat does it. I forget sometimes. I just make sure that they're out for about at least an hour, maybe more. Just so that they don't retain as much of their juice. They actually give their juice to you. They don't just store it in their shells. Thank you for that tip, though. It's a good one. Rolling the lemons does help get more juice out of them. Oh, Cynic is here. Hello, how are you? Freezer garlic for storage? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I get my garlic like this from my local grocery store. And it's in a container and I dump it in my freezer. And pretty much whenever I need garlic for a recipe, I just pop it open and grab a couple and I put it in. I call this a thimble. I'm pretty sure that's not what this is called. It's just a little sauce dish. But I put a little bit of hot water over top of it, let it sit until I need it, and it's magical. I don't have to peel garlic and chorp it. I just have it ready to go, which is so blessed. It is life-altering. I really think I can talk while juicing. I really fucking think, though. Okay. Gwen says, I love that your oven has a countdown timer for when the preheat is ready. It's game changing. It really is. It's crazy how accurate it is. And on really cold days, the timer can go up to like 7 or 8 minutes. I mean, if you're trying to like go up to 450 degrees, then yeah. But it's wild. I know how long I have to go do something. Totally an expert says, I went to karaoke 24 hours ago, so I understand the weird noise while being excited. I'm so glad someone does. Gwen says, a lady I used to work with used to microwave her lemons for like 10 seconds before juicing them. Just on the regular setting? Like a high power? Or just normal? And did it actually help? Is the next question. Because that sounds like something that either would help or the lemon would explode in your microwave. Siddiq says, brilliant. I would have never thought of that. I mean, I saw it one day and I thought I would try it out. Because I hated chopping garlic more than I hated life itself at the time. And when I got it, I was like, oh, this is so easy. And it keeps. Like, I obviously don't keep it for terribly long because I use it so much. But, like, she keeps. She keeps for bear time. Gwen says, I think so. Okay, well, if it works, right? You can't sneeze at that. I mean, Sabu could sneeze at that. He could sneeze at anything. Lizzie says, it's an interesting way to do your garlic stuff. It's a little... It's lazy, but, like, honestly, who has time for shit these days? Turley Expert says, I am sure I gave some people ear damage with my falsettos. Nonsense. I'm sure they were chokuzet. Gwen says, I don't know if it helped. I never did it because I was scared of it exploding, so I'm not sure if it actually helps or not. Fair. I would be worried about literally anything exploding in the microwave. Trust issues. But she swore by it. We all have our little kitchen secrets that we swear by. I don't know how this juicer has, like, stood the test of time. I got a bunch of, like, appliances, like blenders and protein powder containers that were like the size of my abdomen. Like, they were huge. And I think she gave us a few pans and like an immersion blender. Just a bunch of stuff. And some of it we threw away because it was like, it just didn't work anymore. But she gave me a bunch of shit, and this was one of the things that she gave me. And I have used this so fucking much. If I touch that, it will go off, and it's right next to the microphone. To be hating myself and move away from it because I cannot be trusted. I've used this so fucking much. There is no reason for it to still be functional, but here it is. Lizzie says, I got a little garlic-shaped garlic mincer thingy, so I don't need to chop my cloves. Ooh, that sounds good. Totally an expert says, çok korkutucu ama teşekkürler. I hope I read that properly. My O's and U's with the umlauts on it are really bad. I kind of go French with them. This is the accent work that I like to talk about. It's like, if I want my Turkish to sound better, I do it in a French accent. And if I want my Arabic to sound better, I do it in a Turkish accent. I do it in more of a Russian accent, actually. That way I sound like I'm dignified. It's weird. And then I don't know what's going on with my English. If you know, please let me know. If you know what I'm doing with my English, please let me know. Echo says, your juicer stood the test of time. Did it play Sid Meier's Civilization? Maybe it did. Maybe it did and it won. We don't know. Oh dear. Totally Expert says, I mean, my performance was so bad, but thank you for the compliment in a simple way. I feel like singing is like a form of self-expression. Even if you don't think it's very good, you know, it's coming from your heart and soul. I mean, I think this is my theory at least. Right. What day is it today? It's Tuesday. Okay. I changed around my guitar lesson this week. I'm doing that on Thursday from 2 to 4. Yes, I am. All right. I don't know why that just came to my mind. I know your English is Starbucks English. That's a special dialect. I feel like Madrat has said this too. He's like, you speak Starbucks. That's what your problem is. I'm like, do I know? What do I fucking know? I'm not good at accents. I also had a manager who, we would have shouting matches all the time. It's a long story, but we didn't get along. And she was raised in the UK, she was raised in Georgia, and she was also raised in, I want to say South Africa, Dutch side. And she lived in Toronto for some time. Let me tell you, this woman had a wild accent, and she was super grumpy all the time because people would be so enthralled with the way she would say things that they would ask her to repeat herself all the damn time. Even though they knew what she said, they understood what she said, but they would make her repeat it because it's interesting the way she says it. And I felt her pain to some extent because people do that to me too. Sometimes where they're like, what did you just say? Even though they heard it perfectly well, they're like, I just want to hear you say it again because you say it weird. It's like, hello? But because we had such heated, loud conversations at each other and so frequently, I feel like she's imprinted a bit of her accent onto me. Because when someone starts to yell at me, I start to yell back. Like, I match the tone that I'm given. I match the attitude that I'm given. And as soon as someone's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, yes, you're yelling at me. You know what I mean? But I also match the way people talk to me, in a way. More so than maybe I realized. Because when I started talking like her, I was like, why do I sound like this woman? I don't mean to sound like this woman. I'm not this woman. But we yell at each other all the time. I don't understand how this is happening. I don't know what to say. Accents are weird. Lizzie says, did you decide to get one of the guitars you mentioned before? I did. I actually took my old guitar in to see if they could fix it because I was really sad about losing it because I've had that guitar since I was 9, okay? And I didn't want to just, like, sell it. I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to keep it. So I kept it, but they were like, this is a little bit beyond repair. We'd have to gut, like, basically the whole thing. And I was like, I'm keeping it. I am keeping this guitar, so help me God. I ended up going with a white guitar because I just thought it was so stark. When I saw it in the shop, the pink looked a little bit more like Barbie than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking Kitty Toe Bean pink. Like, I think it was Lizzie. I swear it was Lizzie or Molly that said it. It was Kitty Toe Bean pink. And I loved that. I was like, I'm getting the pink guitar then. That's it. It's settled. Halas. And then I go to the shop and I'm like, this is screaming Barbie at me. And I'm not ready for it. And I'm ill-equipped to deal with it. We're not doing it. The white guitar was gorgeous though. And I was all about it. At some point, I just picked the guitar up and I was like, I was looking through the aisles. I was just playing this thing. I was like, okay, they have like humidifiers. They have like stuff. And this guy comes in and he doesn't say a damn word. I was like, I'm so sorry. You probably think I'm a weirdo. He's like, nope, I've seen much stranger. Just, it's fine. Lizzie. It was Lizzie who said it was toe bean pink. But the white one will make you look tan while you play it, so it's also a good choice. That's what I thought too. I have been hitting the tanning bed lately. It's been really, really nice to be doing so. I've convinced a friend of mine to come to the gym with me on Saturdays, and part of the routine is we do our cardio to warm up, and then we go and do our weight training, and then she has a shower. I do a little bit more lifting because I'm ripped like a bag of chips, that's why. And then we go and get our tan and our red light, and then we get cozy in the massage beds for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then we go get dinner. It's a whole ordeal going to the gym on Saturdays, but I fucking love it. So I will be tanning so I can coordinate with my guitar. And Totally an Expert says, I heard it from a draw. That's why I said it. I love it. It's stuck. Molly's here. Hello. Lamont. That's what we're dealing with today. No word of a lie. Lizzie says, yeah, I'm the one who said toe bean pink. Okay, I'm all caught up. Am I caught up, or is this repeating? Am I going crazy? No, I'm not going crazy. Okay, we're doing this. We're going to mute the mic. And we're done. And we're back. We resume normal programming now. We have a Lamont. Oh, man. Okay, Scoot. And then I need to get... What did I need to get? Oh, yeah, I need to get the garlic press. Alright. There's a garlic press. I need to get thyme and romarin. Come on. Oh, Jesus! I'm okay. It's really high drama in that corner, and I don't like it. Okay. Why did I do that? Rock and or roll. I have thyme and I have romarin. So this is rosemary leaves, but I don't know why. That doesn't sound like a real name to me. So I have to call it romarin because that sounds like the proper name for it. I'm just sprinkling about an even distribution. These look like really big hunks of meat, and so they might need a little bit more, but I'm not fond. I hate these spices. I don't know why, but I like them in this. It's very odd. I'm not a big fan of herbs unless they're super mega fresh or they're Turkish. I don't know why. If they're Turkish herbs, then I live for them day and night. That's it. I really just went ahead and did that. Oh, man. Oh, my God. All right. Right. Olive oil. The one thing I really miss about my parents is that because they had a lot of friends that would go back and forth to Turkey and even other parts of the Middle East, they would ask their friends to... Let me just move this. It's in the way a little bit. they would ask their friends to bring them back spices and seasonings and like pantry essentials that were fairly light to transport back from like wherever it is they were going. So a lot of them back then would go to like Syria, they'd go to Turkey, or they would go to, where else did they go? A lot of them were Lebanese, North African, that whole area. And so they would just be like, oh, can you get me like, let's just say mint or anise or like saffron. There's just a lot of spices that like, yeah, we can grow thyme and a lot of these things here, but it doesn't taste the same. I swear they have different like varieties that grow over there, and it's also probably the soil and the method, the sunlight that it gets, the water that it's being irrigated with. I say irrigated, they're herbs. Like, you don't need to fucking go and irrigate the crops to get some fucking herbs, but here I am. That's just my theory. Muffins? I'm not ready. I am dead ass crushing garlic right now. I don't have time for your shit. All right, we're good. Okay. Have to salt and pepper this. Okay. Let me know how loud this is. Because these are electric, and so they don't loud. It doesn't seem that bad. But what did you guys think? Was that terrible? Because I will never do it again if you tell me that it was terrible, I swear. Okay. This is ready to go in the oven. Ooh. Oh, shut up. Oh, man. That just opened up every pore on my face. I didn't even have my fucking mitts ready to go. Plop. All right, 1 hour timer is set. The mashed potatoes are currently starting to cook. And I need to get my cooling rack out. I have like no room to work with because I have fully snaked myself. No. This can go. We do not need this. Hello, sir? Can we get along, please? Is this a possibility? There, come on. Behave! Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay, and now we are good. Okay, we're stable. We're doing good. Why are we causing problems over here? I just would like to know. Is this thing just like wet? Is that why you're beefing? You know what? Clearly you have some kind of beef with me. We're gonna go with this burner because this burner never gives me shit. Right, I need a fork. Together for like 30 seconds. What is going on? The short answer is no. Long answer is probably, but it would take a lot of work. Na, 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 na. Oh, they thick. Ooh! Sorry, that was really ugly. Sorry, I miss so much. Lizzie says, now we can imagine the lemon is screaming in pain while it gets juiced. LOL. Totally an expert says, also, I will say your Starbucks is better now than before. When I heard Madrat say it, your Starbucks accent was thicker, as I remember. It was, it was a blend of dumb, a little bit of Valley Girl in there, a little bit of weird bastardized, like, British. I don't know what was going on there. It was an influence of everything I was, like, being exposed to. Where everything is a question. Oh, man. Lizzie says, that's how I am with onion. Usually I don't like the taste of onion, but I always put onion powder on pot roast because it's acceptable in that context. Yes! Onion powder is like a game changer, I swear. It just... I still taste it, like, when I make goulash and it, like, really melts into the whole stew. I still manage to find the onion because I swear my brain is programmed to be like, we hate onion, seek and destroy all of the onion in this dish. So then I find it just by rooting around with my fork, and then I'm like, well, I can't eat this now. There's the thing I don't like. But I eat it anyways because I'm an adult. And it's good for me. The onion won't hurt me. Oh, Madrat, you're smelling this? Molly says it's fine. Lizzie says your oven doesn't continue to scream beeps at you if you don't immediately turn off the timer. I'm jealous. It does. It goes off almost every minute. It goes like beep, beep, beep. That's what it says. They're a little bit longer than that. Every like minute. I think our last oven, I think it was like a shrill beep until you went and dealt with it, which is so cruel. Molly is beeping in the chat, and I love it. Lizzie says, those muffins look amazing. They really crisped up around the edges, too. It's, like, amazing. These have, like, chips in the top, and they've, like, kind of roasted. It looks so good! Totally an expert says, thick with 3 C's as promised. Lizzie says, what a fancy cooling rack. Good gravy. I think I found this at Costco for like $10 or something, and I was like, I could use those. I've started baking things. I got really excited. So where do you really go to get a cooling rack anyways? I would not know where to go and get a cooling rack. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I wouldn't have the darndest idea. Totally an expert says, I would like to believe Madrat invented smell-o-vision just now. Me too. Lizzie says, a lot of my cooking stuff came from secondhand stores, honestly. Fair. A lot of mine did too, up until, like, fairly recently. I still remember the day my mother-in-law, like, when I first moved out, like, when Madra and I first moved in together, and we went to IKEA, and I was like, I'm gonna buy some things, even though we can't really afford it. We just need some things to get started. And, okay, Nessie, I'm so done with you now. That's it. Right, and I remember my mother-in-law bought me some like super essential things, and I almost started crying right in the middle of IKEA. Because I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, please don't do this. So I remember like buying a lot of stuff secondhand because it was like, okay, this will get us through until we can actually afford to buy a set of dishes and stuff. A set of stuff that we need. Or whatever. But, yeah. Buying secondhand is not a big deal. Echo says MDB, inventor of the Smell-O-V. Totally an expert says, with no Nessie and Cebu, the kitchen feels empty. Shit, you're right. Okay, let me see what I can do. My potatoes are not even boiling. Okay. I may have just made muffins, but I did just fail to boil water. I think critical error. This is the kitchen blue screen. Failing to boil water. There's that. Right, I put Nessie away. Okay, we're bringing Nessie back. Here we go. So she can face the chat. I'm really over here assuming that Nessie is a girl. I think. Totally an expert says, I guess skellies are acceptable. I sure hope so. Lizzie says, my mom started gathering kitchen supplies from secondhand stores for me while I was in middle school, so by the time I moved out, I had most of a kitchen's worth of tools worked out pretty well. That's actually a really good idea. I was doing something similar before I moved out where I would walk through like the kitchen and home areas in like Walmart, wherever, secondhand stores mostly. Because a lot of my friends were really into thrifting, so it was perfect. We would just be hanging out, and I'd be like, oh, I'll buy this shit for my future kitchen. Great. So I would, like, try to bless myself in anticipation. And I remember when I moved out, my parents also gave me a few pieces just to start me out, which was really nice of them. Some of the only nice things they've ever done. But we'll take it. What was I literally about to check? My brain is like not working right now. Nope, it's not working. I was also horrifically addicted to eBay. You get a lot of cheap shit off eBay. Lizzie says you might have been going to harass, kidnap Cebu. Right. That was something I wanted to do. Hey, Madrat, if you're paying attention, can you bring Cebu down? I feel so positively evil doing that. Because the guy just wants to do his own thing, and I just want him to hang out with me here. So that Nessie, me, and the chat are not lonely. He's probably on the bed, hanging out. Ooh, Detective Madrat is on the case. I swear, I was like... Okay, so last week when I got home from school on Tuesday... Or no, it was on Friday because I was grumpy AF. But I came home, I set my backpack down, I opened it up so I had to grab something out of it. And we were in the kitchen, like, getting the situation handled for dinner. And I'm doing stuff over here, and I look over, and I see that Cebu is sticking his Dorito face into my backpack and burrowing into it. And I'm just like, in that moment, like, I'm already like, okay, Madrat, can you give me this? Can we do, like, we need to do this, whatever. And I'm like, Madrat, get Cebu out of my backpack. And he's like, what? So I'm like, Madra. So he's like, where is your backpack? I point to it. And he goes, oh my God, this cat. He had shoved himself into my fucking backpack. But today, I had my backpack wide open. Just happenstance. I was unpacking my laptop and my charger and setting the situation up here for the stream. And Sabu was here on the chair ready to go. He was like, hello, let's go. Is it time for stream? I'm here for stream. My ticket says 5 o'clock and I am here. I got home, I put the backpack down that was wide open, and he jumped up, promptly jumped down, and left to go upstairs to where he is right now, fast asleep next to Rocky. It's okay, my co-host gets a few days off every now and again. But I was like, he didn't go into my backpack that was wide open and just beckoning to him. Is he okay? Is he feeling all right? This is not like him at all. Thank you, Madrat, for trying to look for him. And for potentially having brought him here. Molly says, summon the boy. Lizzie says, let's hope Detective Madrat knows better than to ask Sabu about any dead relatives he has. Totally an expert says Pixar, it didn't happen. I still say that too. Instagram time. Molly says, today I took my lovely Bean to the vet. She tried to hide in my hoodie pocket, but she were too fat. Oh, I love when they try to hide in your clothes. I think it's adorable. Okay. Nessie, chill. It's fine. It's not that deep. So I get the pois out. Oh, hello. Honestly, I'm feeling like chopped liver today. These cats are avoiding me. I mean, I don't think they're avoiding me. I think they're literally just sleeping today. They've had so much excitement the last several days. Because yesterday it reached like 15 degrees or something stupid like that. So we had all the windows open. And Rocky was so hyper. Like I've never seen him before. Just running everywhere, yelling at everyone except Sabu. But he was like having the best day ever. Molly, tell me more about your cat. How'd the vet visit go? What's your cat's name? I must know about your cat, Molly. That's it. Alright, don't play me bag of peas. Don't play games now. There we go. Lizzie says, 15 degrees Celsius, not freedom units. I like that. I'm so bad at the comparison between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Celsius for life, the capital 4. Oh, man. Alright, well, the peas are prepped. This is all it fucking takes. You just pop them in the microwave for, like, legit a minute to 2.5 minutes, depending on the weather that day. I don't know. It seems kind of arbitrary when it decides to be quick and when it decides to make you wait. So 45 minutes on the timer. I can put the scale away. We have dessert. We have breakfast / snacks for the next few days. We've got dinner on the way. It's a blessed stream. Gwen says, I gotta head out, but have a good rest of stream and meal prep. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night. Maybe we'll see you soon. Lizzie says, the peas will heat quickly as long as they've been appeased. That was a good one. I liked it. Charlie Nexpert says, oh, same. Anyways, it's 5 a.m., so I'm gonna head out. Oh, damn, was what I had written out. Damn. That's very, very late. Thank you for coming and hanging out, though. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a good sleep, and a great day ahead. Thank you for hanging out with me. Molly says, her name is Molly, and she maxes vit and mins int. What does that mean? She maxes vitamins intentionally? I'm probably just dumb and reading this wrong. Max's vit and mins. It's gamer for she's dumb and chunky. Oh. I'm the worst. Totally an expert says, you too, go to go to, oh my god. Görüşmek üzere. Have a good night. Lizzie says, max vitality, minimum intelligence. Oh, max vitality and, okay, I get it. The light bulb has gone off and I now understand. I really appreciate that you guys explain these things to me because otherwise I would never fucking figure it out. Okay. I think that I'm going to take it down here. Is there anyone you guys would recommend that I raid? I will go to my thing. Am I allowed to go to my thing, guys? Come on, Twitch, get it together. No one I know or follow is currently streaming, which is fine. We don't need to stream anyone in particular, but if y'all have a recommendation, I'm cool with that, or I could just take it down now. I think everyone's kind of tired, so I'm cool to just take it down now. I'll give it a few minutes. I'll have some looter, and y'all can let me know. Sorry, that was really ugly. I just got so excited for that hit of hydration. Here we go. Oh, hello, Scott. How are you? What a time. I was literally about to just take this shit down. Right. I guess my flavor is butterscotch banana muffin. Does that qualify as a response? That's the flavor that I'm most into at this very given moment, because I made banana butterscotch muffins, and they're so blessed, and they taste and smell incredible. But how's your day going so far? Okay, we are, for all intents and purposes, taking down this here stream. There we go. Butterscotch is so blessed. I really don't think there's enough butterscotch in the world. I don't get enough butterscotch through just normal diet, so I have to bake it into my muffins. That's what I do. I even love butterscotch pudding made from scratch. I forgot about butterscotch pudding. That shit was so good. I remember being a really huge fan of those when I was a kid. I wonder if they still sell them. I mean, to make it from scratch, it would be incredible, but like, I don't know if I've ever... No, that's a lie. I've definitely made pudding before. I've made like chocolate mousse before, which is basically pudding for all intents and purposes. Lizzie says, thanks for the fun stream. Congrats on those beautiful muffins turning out so well. Thank you so much for the support and for hanging out. Everyone is so kind. Scott says, are you Persian and stuff? I guess technically I am. I'm from Iraq. I'm part Arab and part Turkish, and I'm Canadian. I live here for some reason. It's too cold for me. But I mean, here we are. I feel bad cutting it off because you just got here and you seem really nice. This place close to me sells homemade butterscotch pudding. So effing good. Oh, I bet. Especially if it's homemade. Damn, that sounds great. My parents are from Iraq. I'm Chaldean. What does that mean? Is that an area in Iraq that I don't know? Or is that another whole next other country, which is possible? I'm just ignorant. I don't claim to know everything. Do you speak Arabic? Or do you speak another language? There's a lot of languages in Iraq, so if you say no to Arabic, I would like completely not be surprised. Yeah, it's going well. Oh, okay. Chaldean is similar to Assyrian, north of Iraq, close to Mosul. Okay. Aramaic. Aramaic. God, I can't fucking read. Aramaic, eh? Okay. Chaldean is similar to Assyrian. That's Ashuri. Okay. So I'm from the north of Iraq. My dad's from the north of Iraq. She was from Kirkuk. And so I'm Turkmen and an Arab. But I mean, that is pretty specific. Frolf says, farewell, good luck with your professor fiasco. Thank you. I will need it. Oh, man. Okay. As much as it pains me to take this down, thank you, everyone, for coming. It was so good hanging out with you. I am very much going to try to stream again in the week. I stream every single Tuesday after school, pretty much. And I've been trying to stream more on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Disaster is not withholding. I mean, if a disaster happens, then I can't stream. But I mean, the disasters just need to stop happening. You know, it is what it is. But I will hopefully see you later on this week. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday.